Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 11 day for the number 11 month for the year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una meaningful information. We speak the truth. We bring facts-based analysis for help we as Uruwaka for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Fellow good people of Ambaland, we start today with big news where they come from the Ambazonian Governing Council. The president of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, he could make a big visit for Belgium. The leader of our War of Liberation, he could visit the Ambazonian Governing Council mission and the people of Ambazonia for Belgium on the third day for this month, for the next month for December 2022. The program it will start for 3 o'clock for Amber time, and they expect me all Ambazonian the way they live for inside Belgium and across Europe may then join me for this special operation will be entitled Empowering Our Liberation. They could get detail within the meeting, the town hall, as he go to pay visit for Belgium. The Ambazonian Governing Council now a big organization we include it be constituted by Ambazonian citizens across the globe and in ground zero. Members of our Ambazonian Governing Council constitute members of our population that is in our areas of control, our sympathizer and militant at home and abroad. We also get missions them. Let me say, for every country where they out of Ambazonia, you get Ambazonian community the way they don't come under the flag of the Ambazonian Governing Council. They follow the charter. That means you get your own mini constitution where the guiding members them for put in place principles them for safeguard Ambazonian independence and sovereignty. This institution is also built for withstand the test of time. It believes in democracy, transparency, and it believes it being at the vanguard for freedom for Ambazonia. Their members, especially their militants, that means na people the way they identify with the principles of the governing council and their leadership, and where they advocate actively for social media as well as for other fora them. These people them, they call them say militants them for the Ambazonian Governing Council. You get a lot of women's around, needless to call their name, but through the Ambazonian Governing Council various mission, they run the sponsor and support the armed resistance and the policies of the Governing Council. Now then mobilize our population at home and abroad for support our resistance and our fight for independence. The chairman for the head of mission for Belgium for the Ambazonian Governing Council and Mr. Kenneth. The mission of Ambazonian Governing Council for Belgium, it get very powerful members like the Secretary of State for the Ambazonian Governing Council, Mr. Ayaba. Mr. Ayaba also be based for inside Belgium, na part of the mission for Ambazonian Governing Council of Belgium. If you remember na picking for Papa Chief Ayaba Eta, when na be the head for the SCNC, na a pioneer member, when a strong advocate. Now we always call and say our Eroko for Bakwere land for inside Ambazonia. Now Pekin also been at the Secretary General now for the Governing Council. It to be based for Belgium. You also get strong members in Belgium for the Governing Council, like our Secretary General for the Governing Council, Mr. Obadiah. He used to be based for Germany, for Belgium. And you get one of our most famous militant, where they militate for the Governing Council, where he been a member of the Belgium mission, Mr. Kecha Fru, a powerful advocate and an activist where they push, they militate for the Governing Council as well as many other one over call their name. They could host the president of the Governing Council, and they could mobilize the whole Ambazonian community for Belgium for come together for can listen to the president of the Governing Council. They will get the time for me to be face to face and get deep and in-depth review of our liberation movement and the envisaged plan for finish this war once and for all against La République to Cameroon. Make them meet up for day. All people there and there around Belgium, they fit join that meeting. It go day again. I repeat the date on the 3rd day for December 2022. For any Ambazonia way there for Europe, we want attend that meeting. If we call this number +1905 782 0911, and they will give you the location and details for how people they will meet up for that gathering. I will repeat again for this podcast number 3 times, because this information will be very crucial for all Ambazonian forces, all Ambazonian citizens at home and abroad. The time for lie, it done pass. The time where they be the trade dust for up, ground for up, for full people them, for blind people them, it done pass. The international community, they don't interact with the SACO and the Chris Anu and the people the way they go for act. International body, the way they don't interact with them, they don't weigh them, and the result they don't come out for investigation. Them way they don't carry them out. They don't weigh them, they don't test them, and the result it don't become out. The group the way they be go for inside that Swiss talk, they be ask them at one point for try for stop ghost town or for use lockdown for sure if them be consequential or them be influential for Ambazonia. They be go ahead for declare lockdowns in that exercise, and it then be proven say lockdown it not be a means for check whether a group it gets strong for ground or it fight the war or it need to fight this war. So they don't weigh those groups them, and the result it don't come out. The whole world and the most important player then for the international community, they don't assess the Ambazonian War of Liberation, and they don't identify credible institutions the way they feel best represent Ambazonia based on their consequentiality. The Ambazonian Governing Council, it come with the biggest force for inside Ambazonia, where they under one leadership and one command and control, where they for ground zero. Under General Efang, the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, and under the leadership of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, will be the Commander-in-Chief. It be well-structured organization. It get checks and balance. They know they consider them like a fighting group. They consider them like a force, because it get a proper political wing and a well-defined structure in terms of ranks and files, and they get a well-defined institution where they hold them account. The Ambazonian Governing Council, the top, as the leader of the war for the Governing Council, be the pioneer for advocate for the war against La République to Cameroon, colonialism, and it provide leadership in terms of inspiration and in terms of campaign to sustain the public resistance. The aim of C come that way. And you get a second way, it come way now the APLM of Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga, their leader now an icon for Ambazonia, where they go through prison for La République. It be highly respected amongst all Ambazonian defense forces, according to communication with those forces and self the GIAM. And a leader way he get a force way he get a command, clear cut command and control. The force is under General Transporter, then get a political leadership, APLM, will be aligned under, then get ranks and file way if it be identifiable under international law. These two organizations, it be seen that and gain international reputation for defense. The Siseko Ayok Tabi also it be recognized as a leader, will be an icon. It be in prison because of the liberation struggle, and because of the work before you go for prison, it then develop respect amongst Ambazonian people, and it be a credible leader with a very strong voice and influence of our people. These three main groups form the bloc where they fit properly and be consequential enough for represent our state and our interests, and this liberation war. They are all considered as a party to this conflict, the major party to this conflict. Of course, you have John Bakuru of the consortium, where he also the campaign for resistance, public resistance against Cameroon. It be also consequential, and it be considered as a part of the conflict, the party of the conflict. Organizations such as Maurice of Bohebert, they don't cease for participate for call for public resistance against Cameroon, and they need to call for military, they need to support or lead any military institution. You get other groups also like SCNC. In terms of this war, they have become redundant, but nevertheless, these are big stakeholders within our struggle. You have many other groups like ARO or for Godidinka, These are all huge stakeholders, but they are not actively leading any effort in terms of the confrontation militarily with La République or the campaign to resist La République to Cameroon publicly. Negotiations or representing a state is always led, and this time the leading movement, the major movements, they have the responsibility for come together, for bring all man may come, may them be inclusive, for create consultative board and all those things. They ask and say, what about soldier them? Where information, where people they ask them for ground group the way they for ground. Most of the groups in ground zero, then their command and control it remain for them. Their so-called representative, then where they for abroad, they not be seen as credible command and control officials over that particular group, according to contact where the international community then they get them with the forces them. Because when they send their people on the ground, they meet all the forces them. They ask them one or two things them. The way they respond, it show who they be. All their command rests with them. You don't get a mushroom of many organizations where they try to project themselves over these forces, but they not be credible. They not get command and control. Not just a projection and platforms and where this group they be associated with. These groups then be like very good player where they play very well for Cartier, but they need to join the national team so that they fit play and their result it go fit count. Their result it count, no doubt. When you win, you kill La République, all man the glad, people then for quarter they glad by the end for day. But when you day for a group where it be seen as a force, your action that it be magnified because you get a political consequence. You get a political win where they take your action, translate them into political capital, and that one will be very, very crucial. The way it happen for ground with many forces the way they be independent, and they like good team them, good player the way they play very well, they shine for interquarter, but they need for join the national team. You need for join the national team. The national team now a teamwork, not but one man they play. You know if the way you play, you know get a team, but you be a good player, you the only work and nag your chest, so you will remain only for quarter. Me all man they see you the glad. You must join the national team so that if you play. And when we do for the national team for Ambazonia, all we play now for one team. Yes, we'll get someone doing a defender them, we'll get someone doing a striker them. But all man must pass ball, we must collaborate for the team for win. Team it is so it must get captain. We know if he talks so we will not get one person win now for in front. He must get captain, whether captain. You know must mean say you will be captain, now you must know how to score goal them. You must be now the striker. You know also means say you captain, now you must be goalkeeper or defender. Captain a person will get leadership skill where if he make them player then come together, if he inspire them, for give them courage for fight, if he direct them how to fight very well, me then carry on the job it be done. Many Ambazonian activists them where they be players or consequential people them for our public mind, they all then drop to become now a commentator airing out their viewpoints, opinions where you get very little or no bearings for the liberation movement or get any consequences for the soldiers and where they be consequential enough. So now the report card we did. The reason why we repeat them, now say if something cannot be repeated for Ambazonia, sometimes they need to take them seriously. But nevertheless, whether we take them serious or not, this is just the truth. And the 1st of October, it then give the world a perfect picture for the past 2 years of who is who in Ambazonia and what is going on. It then also destroy Paul Biabi Vondo, their lie where they then repeat them for the international community. So they be done kill all Ambazonian soldiers and so they then run go for Nigeria. But this 1st of October, Ambazonian forces then show the war. So they then increase, they also be motorized, then be heavily equipped, then be well disciplined, then be with uniform and their flag, their population is stand with them, and all probably are a lie that then crumble. Ambazonia must take pride in each other. If we get one player where they play fine, me some player no complain say why did they talk say that one they play fine. It means say you need to play fine too. No. As a team, if you have a team where some player they do way good, it will be good for you because the result it will also affect you. It will get you good credit also. So we must learn to work hand in hand without feeling jealousy or have all these primitive instincts where they make them with the revolt each time we see some person where be better. Make we stop the thing of pull him down. This way they call PhD saying pull him down. Because we don't become specialized for bring people down. We need to criticize anymore because we want to fix something. But we criticize now because we want to destroy. We get people the way they don't become specialized opposition and spoilers. bringing out unnecessary distractions that have zero relevance to advance the cause of our people. Our people have died and have been killed and have paid a huge price for their freedom, and the least any patriotic Ambazonian can do is to act positively towards their liberation. Of course, there are individuals whose actions and whose activities can hamper our progress. Those actions must be denounced and must be exposed so that they can be corrected. It must be done with truthfulness, honesty, and with facts. If you do not have a fact, and if what you are saying is not consequential, you should stay quiet. No be all man must talk. For the meantime, we encourage all Ambazonian forces to focus on the enemy and to desist from politics. We don't see the impact for politics. Our chat will monitor confrontation with the enemy for La Republic. It shows say since they inject this politics, since the Ambazonian scavenger them waiting there for diaspora and the one waiting there for ground zero, they don't begin for hella pobia for do it way one do for cut off the diaspora from ground zero. Since then do and so, their report card it shows that they don't help La Republic for reduce the fighting very much. Maybe that one may be not their objective, or maybe not just foolishness. But when you realize the way to do them, it get negative impact. The right thing for do now for stop them. Now for stop them for the sake of Ambazonia. Put Ambazonian flag first and put the will and aspiration of our people paramount. Fellow Ambazonians, some people that ask why you don't stay and over do a live show. The whole of October, the governing council it be send me as part of a delegation for diplomacy for the whole month. We don't waka go come back, so take 5 trips them. And for those trips them, I want for thank and also for tell Ambazonians so we get great people them for our mission. For some mission them, our people them for Ambazonia for diaspora, they be the cook chop can give me for hotel. For morning time they go give me lunch, for evening they go give me dinner. The governing council, you need to put any man for salary and they need to pay money for any man a trip. When you travel, you need to take care of yourself. And any support we would receive them, would declare them for our leader. So that may be transparent because any way it concern money, it get effect. I bring the one because Christopher Anno Bidan we could talk say go the chop for place with entire. We for the governing council, we need to chop money where they donate them for buy guns. That money we need to chop them or they go for buy guns. All our official them, we didn't get position for inside the governing council, they make sure say they vet them by our mission heads them, they vet them, they ask them question for make sure say all man be employed. We fight a country where their main way for operating a bribery and corruption. We see them for ground zero with our soldiers, we see them for the diaspora, we see them for CDC, we see them for many places that they compromise our struggle and our cohesion. Today, they don't begin tar road for inside Mancon road, particular road be the way we don't deny say me the no tar road for security reason. They don't go bribe soldier them for inside Mancon. They don't take money, me CPD and people then come open road. We don't talk so we go consider for allow under certain circumstances me the celebration for fun for Mancon me go on this step. But that road construction make it talk. Today, the war council will give order for the Ambazonian Defense Forces for stop that job. No matter which money they don't pay them that job, it must stop. That particular road, it be crucial. And 1 meter road, it did the way it did. There are light repairs will feel allow me be made, but it must be made with security concerns be put in front. We'll also take note, say, we don't get report, say GTA, that technical school for Canada, for La Republic, it don't be open for Insan Quen, for Bamenda. We go send people that meet them verify them. Any person where they for Bamenda we are picking to go for Cameroon government school, colonial school for inside Ambazonia. That means say you yourself you don't like your picking. You yourself you like trouble. Stop them. For the war where they keep picking them, we picking them there for bullshit they don't carry gun. If you yourself you the same you're picking for Cameroon government school, colonial school, where they violate our sovereignty, that means say you yourself you like problem. And if you be teacher, we yes not only francophone they come for they can teach. We will can investigate them and action will go follow. We don't promise our people and say we could take the vanguard role seriously. Any man will violate the law, making no say 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. Eventually, time it go case you. Capo Daniel signing off.